Hello everyone and welcome to another beer review. Now this is a quick impromptu beer review. It wasn't really planned. Just like most of my videos recently aren't really planned. Well, probably people could say, are they ever? I had things set up for the weekend with guests coming over. It never really worked out and I needed to get these kind of things out of the way to make room for other stuff in the fridge and things like that. So I had a Desperado that I'd had for a mate, and unfortunately he couldn't make it. He injured himself, so he couldn't make it. So I had to drink bloody 5 litres myself because I'd already cracked it to do a review. God, I was sick of it. And I needed something just to kind of take me the opposite way, just to kind of take me out of the doldrums of drinking 5 litres of Desperado over a few days. So what happened was I also at the same time when I bought the best Desperados, I also bought a keg of Heineken just to kind of fill up the order because it says, well, you're going to pay for shipping. If you get another keg, then you get free shipping. So that's what I did. So I've just quickly poured a Heineken and I'll just do a quick review just to see what it's like because I haven't had Heineken for a long, long time. And I remember I've only enjoyed one kind of glass of Heineken, and that was in 1995 in Moscow after a long, laborious travel basically to Moscow. Now, the travel bit was actually one of the easy parts while it was going, so it wasn't coming back. But the problem was I was going for a trade fair, and it caused no end of problems with the consulate in Edinburgh at the time trying to get all the documentation to allow me to get a visa to travel to Russia. And I think it took 2 days. I had to stay overnight in Edinburgh. It took 2 days and running back and forward and getting things printed off and faxed over to the local post office around the corner and everything. It was just a bit of a disaster. And then finally, I actually managed to kind of travel to Russia, and it was long and laborious. I think in total the 3 days was just very tiring and a lot of waiting and hanging about and like that. But anyway, I digress. So I ended up getting into the hotel. I thought, right, I met up with my dad at the time because he was over there as well, going to the same trade show. And I thought, right, so I'm going to go for a beer. So I went down to the bar and ordered a beer. And then, of course, they don't accept rubles or dollars. They don't take pounds. And I think I had some rubles on me, so I managed to basically get a beer, and it was a Heineken, and it was really nice. It was cold, it was wet, it was frothy, it was everything I needed. It was refreshing, and it would just hit the spot. Unfortunately, the other time I've drunk Heineken has been the exact bloody opposite. It's been like cringe. I'm not a big fan of Heineken, to be totally honest, but in August, was it August 1995? In Moscow, at the Cosmos Hotel. Yeah, it was okay. It was just what it needed. So let's see what this was like. So as you can see, it's quite kind of straw coloured, quite light. It's I'm sure it's 5% roughly, or is it 4? I think it's 5%. So it is. I think it is. Oh, I should have to go and check. Go and check just to make sure. God. Share the burgers. Oh, they're a pain. Oh, it's stuck. Oh, Jesus. Oh no, it's pissing it everywhere. Oh, balls. Yeah, it's 5%. Yeah, it's 5%. But anyway, right, let's get back to it. So, as you can see, it's about 21 quid or something like that for the keg, 5 litres. I think it was from Beer Wolf that was doing the deals. So I'm getting grain smells, maybe some light malt, nothing else really. Not much in the aroma front at all. So let's see what it tastes like. It has a kind of graininess, a little bit of sweetness, and a little bit of kind of ever so slight acidity just to kind of give you a kind of slightly dry, crisp finish. So let's going to break it down. First thing you're getting right at the very start is getting a very light kind of malty sweetness. You're getting grain, it's probably found from the hops. It's going on to the mid-tongue, the kind of hop flavours kind of really kind of cementing itself there. And that's the kind of the main flavour. You're just getting the accents of the sweetness. But the main flavour is that kind of grainish flavour. And then what it does is it goes from the mid-tongue to the aftertaste. And the aftertaste, it's just everything just kind of dissipating and dying down. But there's a little bit of acidity there just to kind of give it a kind of slightly crisp, dry finish. And that's it. There you go. Quite uncomplicated. And I think that's one of the problems with Heineken, with me. I find it quite boring. I find that very quickly I tire of it. So yes, a couple of them is fine. Anything more than that, I'm looking for something else, to be totally honest. I don't understand the big hype, because a lot of times with Heineken, although it's quite good in this one, as you can see, but most of the time you pour it from the can and everything else, or I've had it in pubs before, it just goes flat. It's like a mill pond. So it looks uninteresting, it tastes uninteresting, and I just don't understand where the hype comes from. But in the keg format, it's actually not too bad. As you can see, it's a wee bit livelier than it would be from the can. The mouthfeel is a bit nicer as well, because that's another problem drinking from the can or the bottle. I feel it's just slightly more carbonated, and it just kind of slightly spoils the kind of mouth feel, not mouse, I don't know. But it spoils the mouth feel, and yeah, it just in general just kind of detracts from the pleasure of drinking it. But in the keg, it's actually a bit nicer. Would I buy it again? I might do it as a filler, but I wouldn't actually choose it. I would probably, if there was other things, I would probably choose before that. But at the end of the day, it was just a quick thing just to add to an order, just to kind of fill it in and take over a certain amount so you get free shipping. And that's why I did it. Would I do it again? Yeah, probably. It's always good to have just in the kind of background. Would I recommend it? Probably not so much in the cans or the green bottles. It's another problem. It comes in the green bottles, and of course, quite a lot of times it's usually skunked or air striked. Air striked? Light striked? What the hell am I talking about tonight? So yes, it can be skunked or light striked. Such a big problem of that in the cans or the kegs. So if you're going to buy it in cans or kegs. It's a nicer mouthfeel from the keg than it is in the can or the bottle. So my view is, if you like these type of beers and like these type of lagers, then yeah, maybe the keg would be a good option for you. But anyway, that's us for this review. Oh, what would I give it out of 10? I'd give it 4.5 out of 10. There's nothing really great about it. I would say it's slightly below average. It's average at best, and I would say slightly below average is the kind of norm for it. So 4.5 out of 10. Thanks for watching. Cheers, and bye for now.